Alright guys, welcome back for our final round of standard action for this Wednesday night. It is now snowing here in the Falls, so this lovely snowy evening, if you like snow. On our left, we have Travis, who is currently playing, it looks like an energy deck, looks like Teamer Energy possibly. And Luke is on Bant. It looks like it's just Bant good stuff. I saw Gideon's, Avicen's, Gisella's, Spell Quellers, Negates, Reflection Mages. I don't think it's really any sort of normalized or standardized deck. It's just good stuff. So nothing wrong with that. So here we have the players drawing their opening 7. Travis will be on the play here. Both players looking over their opening hand. Luke, I think, was also main decking Invasive Surgery. So that's an interesting one. But here we go. Looks like we're ready to go. There is a Botanical Sanctum from Travis, and we're off and running. So Luke, gonna have his turn 1 land of choice be Canopy Vista, it looks like. That is the case, and passes back to Travis again. There's an island, and here we have a Servant of the Conduit. Gonna make 2 energy for him when it comes into play, and allow him to have a little mana fixing and ramp. There we see an Ether Hub out of Luke. He's gonna follow it up with, I believe that's a Crop Sigil. Yep, that is a Crop Sigil. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you may put the top card of your library into your graveyard. If you have Delirium, you can pay 2 and a green to sacrifice it, return up to 1 target creature card and up to 1 target land card from your graveyard to your hand. Again, only if you have Delirium. There we see a Tireless Tracker, followed by an Evolving Wilds from Travis. So gonna be able to get 2 clues right away out of this tracker. So making sure he gets the value he needs to. Luke did opt to go ahead and put the top card into his graveyard. It was a Wastes, it looks like. And it looks like he's just passing the turn back here. So Travis, end of turn, sacrifices that Evolving Wilds, goes and finds a basic land, gets another clue from his Tireless Tracker. Gets his mountain, so I believe that should be all his colors online now without having to spend energy. Travis draws, plays an Attune with Ether. Gonna get some more energy in a basic land, gets a forest, plays it, gets another clue. Representing right now an attack for 6 if he wants it. Yeah, looks like both are coming in. It's an attack for 5. It looks like just 5 though, nothing being done by Travis with those clues. Luke, end of turn, grapple with the past. Okay, so he now currently has in his graveyard instant and land. So no Delirium online yet, clearly. Only has 2 of the 4 types required. Here we're going to see the Mill. That's a Giselle the Broken Blade going into the graveyard. So that gives him 3. Instant land and creature. Draws for his turn. Plays a Forest. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what he got back with his Grapple with the Past. Yeah, it definitely is the case. Just getting confirmation from upstairs on that. We'll see what he does. He has 4 mana. I believe I saw a copy of Archangel Avacyn in Luke's hand. Not castable just yet. Looks like he's going to play Reflector Mage. He's going to choose to bounce Tireless Tracker back to Travis's hand. Away it goes. Travis has Harness Lightning at the end of the turn. Going to stay away energy-wise. Doesn't gain or lose any in this case. Going to pay the 3 he gets off the Lightning. Okay, there's another Forest for Travis, and there's an attack from the Servant of the Conduit. Luke falling down to 13 now. There we see a post-combat Jace Unraveler of Secrets, so we'll bring him up. So Travis opting to go the +1 for Scry 1 draw card. So we'll see exactly what... Okay, so Luke mills over a Spell Queller. So still no Delirium online at the moment for Luke. There is a Prairie Stream. It's going to be tapped if he is opting to play that land. Looks like instead decides to go with Traverse the Uven Wall to get a basic land. This will also now give him Delirium. So this is a rather important spell. Yeah, gets an island for himself, plays the island. This will now allow him to play that Prairie Stream untapped next turn, if he so chooses. Kind of already showed Travis that he had it, but not too big of a problem there. It's possible Luke's mana just lining up a little awkwardly here, not being able to deploy the Avacyn on turn 5 like he likes. You're going to have to wait till turn 6 in this case. Not too far behind schedule, but ultimately not right where you want her either. So Travis cuts the deck, and I think Luke is just going to pass back. And that looks to be the case. So Travis untaps 5 mana, Jason play 3 clues, a Servant of the Conduit, and 3 energy. So 6 mana if you'd like. Travis scries 1 and says, I'll keep it. There's that Tireless Tracker again that we already knew about. Luke's going to go ahead and respond to that with a Spell Queller out of his hand. Says, I don't want you to cast this one. Travis says, get out of here with Incendiary Flow. Luke drops the Invasive Surgery onto Incendiary Flow. Travis going to have to read that one over. We'll bring that one up. We'll get a read on that one as well. So, counter target sorcery spell. If you have Delirium, search your opponent's hand, graveyard, and library for any other copies of that spell. Exile all of them. So I didn't get a look at Travis's hand. Unfortunately, Luke didn't really show it to the camera there. So I'm not entirely sure what Travis is working with. Luke gets to look over Travis's whole deck here, gets rid of all of those Incendiary Flows. And away they go. Yeah, I don't think Travis was ready for that. Travis preemptively asking about Brizella's CMC with the possibility of confiscation cooing her. With the new cards, the new rules the Wizards did put out when they brought Meld to the table as a mechanic, they did explain that flip cards have the converted mana cost of their front side or their combined front side. So Brizella would be a 11 CMC creature. Luke attacks with the Spell Queller at the Jace, bringing it down to 5. Luke has in hand, I believe, a Linvala. I think there's also an Eldrazi Displacer there. So it could just be on, like, Bant, Flicker, good stuff. Interesting. Again, I believe he does have a copy of Avacyn, and the way he's lining up his mana, that would also indicate that to me. There's a Bristling Hydra from Travis. At the moment, already has, looks like here 6 energy. I think that's going to be after the Hydra resolves. Jace goes up again. Travis opts to put the card to the bottom and draw a blank one that he doesn't know about. Plays an Evolving Wilds. Not sure if he expects Avacyn out of Luke here. Luke may not have it. I might be wrong, but looks like Luke opting not to mill anymore. Already has Delirium online, so there's really no need to. Plays a Fortified Village. Has the option to attack Jace again if he'd like, to kind of try and keep it in check. I don't know if that's ideal. Luke really wanting to put some more pressure down. So I think we're going to see the... no, he's going to go ahead and crack off that Crop Sigil. So he gets to return to his hand a land and a creature. Okay, so deciding to go for the Spell Queller. I think if I'm Luke, I'll double check that Crop Sigil doesn't say sorcery speed, but... yeah, it's not a sorcery speed activation, so I think if I'm Luke there, I think I would, if my goal is to get back Spell Queller, I think I do that when my opponent casts a spell I want to counter. That way they're not going to be 100% sure about it. There's really no need to do it there, I don't think. But Luke adding a copy of Spell Queller to his hand. Looks like Luke just passing the turn back. Travis, yeah, goes ahead and cracks Evolving Wilds off. Now, I did look through Luke's deck before coming back down to our booth here, and he did have both Bruna and Gisela in his deck, so Brazella is a real possibility. Here comes that Hydra, though. Travis says, I'll pay 3 energy, I'll give it a counter, I'll attack you for 5 instead. Luke is taking it, it looks like, so that should be bringing him down to 8. Another copy of Bristling Hydra is met with the Spell Queller that he did know about, of course. I think Travis just, trying to get rid of that Spell Queller, deciding, you know what, I have to play through it at some point. Let's make it now. He does have the option to bounce one of the Spell Quellers if he'd like. It looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to go ahead, bounce the Spell Queller that's holding back his Tireless Tracker. Then he's going to cast Tireless Tracker, play a land, get a 3rd clue, and I imagine just say go. Oh, no, it looks like he has another Servant of the Conduit instead. So back to 5 energy for Travis. Luke draws for his turn. Finds a Plains. Okay, decides to grapple with the past again. Reflector Mage, Invasive Surgery, Eldrazi Displacer go away. I don't know what Luke got back. I think it might have been Reflector Mage. That looks to be the case, yeah. So there's Reflector Mage. Says, I will bounce a Servant of the Conduit. Okay. Yep, chooses to bounce a Servant of the Conduit. Travis can sacrifice one of those clues. Gives Tireless Tracker a counter. And we see the untap here. So Luke is in a pretty rough spot now. The Tireless Tracker and the Hydra both bigger than anything Luke can deploy at the moment. I think Luke's hand right now is just 2 lands, an Avacyn, and a Displacer. Okay, there's another clue for Travis after the Attune with Ether and playing the basic land he fetched with it. Travis grabbing a bunch of mana, deciding what he wants to do here. Okay, decides I will go ahead and I'll attack for 9. Luke is forced to block here, of course. I think the easy block is just put Mage in front of the Hydra. Travis is going to say, hold on, I'm going to crack some clues first. So now it's 5 damage coming through. 6 damage coming through. Okay, so Luke goes ahead and takes 6, falls down to 2. Butcher Mage dies, Jace goes up. Luke finds another copy of Gisela, but says that's enough. I don't have enough to beat you here anymore, so Travis does win game 1. So, congratulations to Travis on the game 1 win there, of course. Luke, it looked like he just possibly his mana lined up awkwardly there. I'm not entirely sure on the full contents of his deck. I mean, main deck Invasive Surgery is very interesting. No one's really ready for that card. I think it does answer quite a few key cards. Answering things like Declaration in Stone is pretty good. Incendiary Flow in this matchup, I guess, is okay. What else is it? Ruinous Path is a card that gets played still. It answers all the hand disruption spells, so Transgress the Mind, Pick the Brain, those kind of things. I don't know if it's main deck worthy. Again, it'll definitely catch players off. There's no question about that, as I'm sure Travis, not expecting an Invasive Surgery there game 1. If I'm Luke, I don't think I'm leaving those in, because the only target you saw out of Travis was either the Incendiary Flow or the Attune with Ether, and I don't think you're really hoping to counter an Attune with Ether with an Invasive Surgery, unless you know that you're catching them when they only have 1 land or something like that. But we'll see what Luke decides to go with here. It is 3-0 on the night, so his deck has obviously been doing some work for him here. And something like a Brazella definitely does just end the game. I think it's how big is Rosella? It's a 4/7, so I think she's an 8/10 flying first strike, lifelink, vigilant, and your opponent cannot cast anything with converted mana cost 3 or less. It's pretty good. So Travis just utilizing his ability to do 1 pile shuffle per randomization. So going into this game 3, again, not knowing Luke's deck list fully, I don't really know how to comment on who's going to win this matchup. Travis's deck It's very strong. He's playing a lot of good cards. Luke is as well. I mean, I like the idea of Bant good stuff. I think it is, Bant has probably some of the best cards right now, outside of green black. But I'm not entirely sure what Luke's game plan is here, outside of to play a bunch of big angels. So we're going to have it start off here. So Luke starts us off here with a Port Town. My spotter upstairs is asking for a Coco reprint in Aether Revolt, and to that I say no. Shut up. A 2 with Aether on turn 1 for Travis. Has 2 energy, gets a mountain for himself. Luke plays out a Canopy Vista, and I think is just going to pass the turn back again. That looks to be the case. Travis untapping his Pinnacle Sanctum. Plays that mountain we know about. There's a Long Tusk Cub. This is a threat. Luke with a copy of Negate in his hand, it looks like. Botanical Sanctum is the play. Has 3 mana. Here's a Reflector Mage, I assume. Yeah, that's the case. So that's a good tempo turn there for Luke. Essentially nullifying Travis's entire turn 2. Incendiary Flow takes care of Reflector Mage, exiles it. Travis has a Evolving Wilds and passes the turn back. Luke will draw. If he has a 4th land, I do believe I saw a copy of Gisela the Broken Blade in his hand. So he would be able to deploy her onto an empty board, which is very crucial. Instead, I don't think he has his land drop. Has to go find it with Traverse the Uvenwald. Gets himself an island and plays it. And I think just passes the turn back. Barry Madden God 13. Thank you very much for following. We certainly appreciate it. You will receive a whisper from us for a 10% off coupon code to top8gaming.com for your next purchase. So look out for that and get yourself some sweet cards. So Travis deploys an Aether Hub, gets himself a 3rd energy, can play that Long Tusk Cub that we know about, and he does. And that's all he has for the turn, passes back. So representing the ability to make a Cub a 3/3. Luke can play Gisela here. I think he added a copy of Verdurous Gearhulk to his hand this turn. That one he's not able to cast, of course, as it does cost 5. Another Reflector Mage for Luke, however, answers that Cub again. And Travis not able to keep a creature on play this game. And it looks like plays a land, deploys a Bristling Hydra. That one's pretty good. Goes to 6 energy, so 2 activations of Hydra available here. So Gisela now not even strong enough to deal with the Bristling Hydra if it decides to go all in on its energy. It would be then a 6/5. But there she is. Gisela the Broken Blade coming down for Luke and passing back the turn. Travis untaps and draws. Is able to redeploy his Long Tusk Cub now if he would like. It looks like he's gone ahead and he's paid 1 energy to the Hydra. Or sorry, paid 3 energy to the Hydra rather. To make it give it a counter. There is a Radiant Flames for 3. Unfortunately, Gisela does not line up very well against Radiant Flames. She does get burned out pretty easy. So Bristling Hydra comes in for 5 damage. Luke down to 15. Luke casting Grapple with the Past here. Okay, gets an island back. Immediately plays it, and then passes the turn back. Travis attacks again for 5. Luke, nothing to do, says I'll take it, falls to 10. And Travis also just passes the turn back. So Travis opting to just say, you have to answer this Hydra first before I go give you my next threat. Which I think is absolutely fine. Luke is able, if that is a Verdurous Geralt, to simply deploy an 8/8 right now, but it decides not to. Holding up Spell Queller mana along with Negate. In comes another 5-point attack. There is an Archangel Avacyn out of Luke. There is a Void Shatter from Travis. Luke is going to fall to 5 unless Travis decides to pump any more damage into this, which I don't imagine is the case here. And it is not. Luke falls to 5. What did I say? Oh, yeah, it's not Void Shatter, it's Spell Shrivel. My apologies. Luke going to go ahead, main phase, plays out a Verdurous Gearhulk. That's an 8/8 with Trample. Travis says, in response to you targeting it with its ability, I'm going to Harness Lightning it for 4. Yeah, Luke's not going to have a response to this. That's going to be the game, I think. Yeah, pays down to 2 energy left. Luke's Verdurous Gearhulk falls. And yeah, Luke says, I have nothing. That's the game. So congratulations to Travis.